I'm David Stevenson from ONICON Incorporated. I'm a senior software developer there. We're located in Largo, Florida. ONICON is a manufacturing company. We make precision flow meters and other measurement tools that are used a lot in the HVAC industry. So our products are installed all over the world. Fast-growing company. I started as a consultant with ONICON for about 3 years, and then I went full-time almost 16 years ago. We were looking at moving from NAV 2017 to BC in the cloud, and so we assessed that whole process, and I had heard ArcherPoint make a presentation at one of the conferences about their migration process, and that was very impressive to us. We looked around, shopped around, and decided to make ArcherPoint our partner for our migration effort because of their experience in doing so many migrations. From the very beginning of our migration project, ArcherPoint was very methodical in taking us through the steps. They had a very good assessment process at the very beginning, helped us check into all of our add-in software vendors and their products that we were using in NAV to see how they would translate into BC. We ended up having to replace a couple of those vendors that didn't have a BC solution, and ArcherPoint helped us through that process. Then when we got into the actual migration, their migration team took all of our many customizations that we had done in NAV and worked through them over a period of several months, got them all converted into AL code for BC, and then did the initial first data migration, our first mock go live. And then through that process, we assessed the weaknesses and things that weren't working exactly as we had expected, or things that BC did a little bit differently from NAV. And it was a great collaborative effort back and forth with us working with the project manager as well as the lead developer who was doing all of the migration coding work. And so we had a lot of back and forth with that ArcherPoint employee who was very responsive and quick turnaround on things that we saw that we needed done differently. And so we did a second mock go live, made a few more adjustments, and then the actual go live weekend went very smoothly. We had already migrated our CRM to the cloud, and it seemed like the logical next step. We were still running on the original release version of NAV 2017. Had not done any changes to it except a couple of little communication things that had to be changed. But we wanted to get our BC on the same online platform as CRM so that we could take advantage of a lot of the power apps and power tools and collaborative things to transfer data back and forth between the two more easily than we could if we had it on premise. The friendliness of all the employees, the helpfulness, the responsiveness to our needs, particularly during that migration. One case in point, on migration night, we had our migration weekend, and the night when we were about to finish configuring our connection to CRM, the setup screen in BC for that connection got stuck in a wrong configuration. That had not happened during our mock go lives. And so they were up with us several hours that night as we were about to pull the plug, and their migration resource lead developer worked out a way to make that change, which we couldn't do through the user interface, and salvaged the project. So we were just delighted that we were able to have resources who were so knowledgeable and could do things on the spot to help us get through that weekend. Yes, I definitely would recommend ArcherPoint. Their knowledge of migrations in particular is unsurpassed. They have done so many, and they have the depth of experience and understanding of what can go wrong and what likely will go wrong if you don't do certain things first. So I would highly recommend ArcherPoint for anyone looking to either change partner or go into a migration project. We have had a good working relationship with several people on the ArcherPoint staff. And it's more than a business relationship. It's more like a friendship relationship. And we value that very highly.